What's your strategy right now on scaling the business? Actually, let's talk about that and like where you want to go. Like, what's
Yeah,
the end goal for you?
I believe there's no end to this
Mm-hmm.
game. I believe once people get to that end point, there's always more. They're
Mm-hmm.
always going to want more. But to answer your question, dude, 30K would be 30K has been my goal for the longest time. When I get to 30K, so I guess you could call that the end. But
Mm-hmm.
I know once I get there, I have to start looking higher up the mountain, start going past that. So 30K is
Right.
the North Star. We'll call it a North Star.
Right.
Um, and you asked what's my strategy right now?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my strategy right now is just pretty much focus on one platform. Um, yeah, focus on one platform for the next couple of weeks. Again, it goes back to what I said about focus. Right now, I'm in this accountability group in the same program that we're in, but just like I basically got downsold. So
Mm-hmm.
next 6 to 8 weeks, have a little nice group, nice little sprint, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone's got this little strategy. We're all doing the same strategy. So I'm going to be trying that out and seeing what happens. What
Right.
I'll tell you is it's the same sort of strategy what kind of did for the longest
Okay.
time. Facebook, flywheel, whatever you want to call it.
All right.
Get in front of pockets of space where your prospects are hanging out. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're in e-commerce, join e-commerce Facebook groups,
Mm-hmm.
go in there, provide a ton of value, so much
Right.
value in fact that people will reach out to you. Prospects will reach out to you, have conversations, looking for a call, and then you close. Okay. The key here is
Mm-hmm.
making people come to you because
Right.
once they see you as an authority figure, it's game over. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to compete on price. You don't have to compete on how good your first opening message was. You just
Mm-hmm.
compete on how well you, like how authentic
Right.
are you. And then
Mm-hmm.
naturally, some people will hate you, some people will don't care about you, some people will come to you,
Mm-hmm.
and there's going to be prospects in your way. So you're making money there.
That's good, man. I think Jeremy and TJ is in that group, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I met bro. I met them actually a few weeks ago. They were here at Seattle.
Oh, oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
Seattle
awesome.
meetup.
Yeah, man. Eventually we'll do one at DK.
Yeah, for sure. Were you able to stop by their
Oh no, I haven't. I
mastermind?
didn't meet Jeremy and Brandon though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sucked because I didn't know when it was gonna happen, like the meetup, and I thought it was gonna be the same time when me and TG will link up, and then so I just ended up not being able to meet them. But I did meet TJ and Wahab, and we had a really good conversation too. It was just um like they helped me out a lot on getting more clarity as well, and just kind of asking me my purpose and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's what you need.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, clarity.
And yeah, 100%. Going into that, what's getting you up in the morning right now? Like, what's your purpose every time you wake up and you feel like you don't want to do any, or don't want to do it? It feels like, oh, it's just one of those days, but you're like, but no, this is my purpose. And yeah, tell me more about that.
Yeah. Um, so before it used to be just by pure force.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it's not real. Sometimes I will have those days where I just feel like shit. For sure,
Yeah.
everyone has those days. But I think right now it's not so much having to use force, it's just just having awareness. And
Mm-hmm.
not to sound too rude, what I mean by that in English is like, look, now since I'm getting momentum,
Mm-hmm.
I can't just sit in bed all day.
Right.
I can't sit in bed all day. What's gonna happen? Okay, what's gonna happen if I sit in bed all day? Well, my clients aren't gonna be happy. I've got people counting on me. I got clients
100%.
counting on me. I got my family counting on me. I got friends counting on me. I got people online who have just been following me for a while, but I don't know personally. There's followers who are actually genuine. I got them counting on me. I got a lot of people counting on me. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
got myself to count on. So for me to not get out of bed and do what I need to do, you'd just be doing them a huge disservice, almost disrespecting them in a way. So
100%.
I'd say that's what's getting me out of bed. When it gets really tough, that's what I sort of think about. Like I'll just
Mm-hmm.
think about, look, I've got a ton of people counting on me.
Mhm.
dude, this, and another thing as well, this, people are ruthless. People in the market are ruthless.
They are, man.
It's
They are
it's it,
ruthless.
it's player versus player. I got it's player versus player, bro. At the end of the day, you're trying to compete with the next coach and business coach and consultant who's trying to do the same thing as you. So
100%.
what's not getting up going to do? What kind of good will that do? You're going to be comfortable. You're going to be nice and warm. Well, have fun doing that. Have fun being nice and warm when that other person just taking a potential client off you that week. Okay, that kind of thinking, that kind of mentality gets me up, even when I don't feel like it.
Right. What's your man, it's that, to be honest, that mentality was respect, bro. Do you think that's like was that kind of ingrained in you, or did you learn it like at the beginning? Let's say the beginning, was that your purpose, or did it change over time?
I'd say it's changed. Obviously now, because I've got more momentum, it's more justified to think that way. I've got clients now. I've got more people who count on me. So it wasn't always like that. When I was at zero, when I was not doing anything, I grew up being extremely lazy. That's one of my flaws. Like I grew up being extremely lazy. I got a lot of stuff. Like, and it's funny coming from someone who's lived in the Philippines. You know, it's not, you don't think of it as a, luxury country where things get handed to you.
Right,
But the fact was, like, growing up when I was living with my lolas and lolas, and this is no shot to them at all. It's just I love them to death. This isn't a shot. So it's just like I got a lot of stuff handed to me. Like, they wanted to take care of me. They feed me food, even down to the things like feeding me dinner, bathing me, taking me out, stuff like that. Okay. I got a lot of stuff done for me. And it was up until like age 7 when I had to kind of cut that, basically. I was being almost baby until 7 years old. It's really weird. But that's even to this day, I have to kick that habit of being lazy. I think subconsciously it's like I'm expecting something to, at the end of the day, oh, it's going to go well, or something's going to get handed to me somewhere. But no. That's one thing I'm trying to kick. I'm trying to not be lazy anymore. So I never really thought that way. Never thought this way before. Before it was just like, oh, it's fun. Let me do it when I feel like doing it. When I'm passionate about it, I'll go do it. When I don't feel so good, I'm just going to take a break. It's very emotional. Yeah. I don't know if that made sense.
No. It's that's the thing. I like the one that you talked about, going backtrack on your, like, people conning on you, and it's a bit of a disrespect if you don't wake up that morning, right? It's I'm actually gonna be posting a video, something about that. I recorded it yesterday. It was
awesome.
Man.
Awesome.
Yeah, I feel like that was what happened to me this past few weeks. It was, to be honest, to be frank, past few months, it was like I was disrespecting myself. I was disrespecting the people around me. It was like, it's because I wasn't living to my fullest potential. I was not working towards on what like my purpose is. And there's this thing where I think it's all like, once you've made a promise to yourself, you cannot break it, because
you gotta keep that shit.
Yeah, respect that, bro. And
especially if you're a man.
100%. And what happened is, like, it was a small thing that compounded that maybe I wasn't able to do it that day, and then the next day again happened, and then eventually this landslide downhill.
Right. Carry on.
All right. And what happened is I was like, now I'm trying to, I disrespected myself for a long time, and I'm like, I cannot put up with this anymore. And so I think that's a lot of reasons why people to stop trying, is because they've made a promise to themselves, but they stop making that promise come true. And for me to break out on that pattern, what I did was I had to break down every single thing. Like, what was my goals, and then broke it down to the T, man. Like step by step till it was actionable. Because sure, we can have so many goals, like big goals and all these things, and like, oh, I want to go here eventually, and this what I want to do is the lifestyle I want. But you're not gonna get there if you don't know what's an action that you can take right now, this very moment. So that's how I kind of got out of it. And yeah, man. And let's talk about, do you believe, are you religious at all?
It's a funny situation. I
Mm.
grew up around obviously Filipino people, and
Right.
you know a lot of
Yeah.
Filipino people. They're religious, right? They're
Mm.
Roman Catholic or along the lines of that. So I grew up around a lot of religious people. We used to
Mm.
go to church every Sunday. We used to pray to God,
Mm.
and celebrate all the religious holidays. However, as I as I've gotten older, so I used to, oh, geez, I have to give another backstory. I'm trying to think here how I can compartmentalize it. So I think, long story short, it goes back to what I was saying about I moved schools a lot, I moved locations a lot.
Mm.
When my mom moved in with her basically husband, so he's
Mm.
my stepdad now. I'm living with my stepdad now.
Right.
They weren't religious, so when we started living together, um, we just didn't go to church as much. To the point where we don't really go to church anymore or pray.
Mm.
Uh, so it was a gradual over time thing. Before, when my father was still alive, and basically we lived around like Filipinos,
Mm.
yeah, we go to church every Sunday, and pray and be very religious for sure. But now I think as time has gone by, I just haven't really connected to it as
Mm.
much. I'm not saying I don't believe in God, or I don't
Mm.
believe there's a higher power. I think there's a higher power.
Mm.
Um, I've made plans in my mind to maybe like reconnect back to my faith, my religion.
Right.
But at the moment, right now, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know what that's looking like. It's quite fuzzy at the moment, or if I'll
Right.
make time for it. So it's a funny situation. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, yes, that's actually interesting that you say that, because
Mm.
I feel like, for sure, a lot of Filipinos are religious, but yeah, man, I think it's time. I think it'll come with time, and but you do believe in God and a high power, right?
Yeah. I do believe there's a higher power. Excuse me. I do believe there is. Yeah. I think there's something in some separate realm that's out of our
Mm.
control, out of human control,
Mhm.
that's doing something.
Right.
I think because I've seen a lot of blessings happen, a lot of things that shouldn't normally and logically happen in the first
Mhm.
place just happen. So what
Right.
other explanation is there? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's I think there's a higher power. I don't know if I'll call it God, I don't know if I'll call it Jesus,
Mm.
but only time will tell. I think there's a higher power.
100%, man. But yeah, man, for me, my faith plays a big part on why I do things. So that's why I was interested in asking that. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I was curious. And how about relationship wise right now, man? How are you doing?